Welcome to the Roy Anthony and Friends Show. Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
It's during the week, homie. The Roy
every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap in
before we gotta
Feels like I'm Cliff, hanging no Stallone. Why you hate me so judgmental? Let me live my life exactly how I chose. How many teeth I got staring down my throat? You ought to know we should be close. How in the hell you gon' take me down this road? My L's revoked. Now I'm feeling stranded. Never planned it, but you never took that time.
Are you feeling me? Okay. How many people from the ghetto out here? There we go. Everybody in the motherfucker from the ghetto here. Homie spoke for everybody. We're all from the ghetto. Shit, I be around a lot of blacks that are sophisticated. I went to a party last night over here at Briar Cliff. Sean Edwards from Fox News took me up there. And you talking about some bougie motherfuckers, dog. For real. This lady, I'm like, she can't. So I'm like, oh, what you do for a living, sweetie? I break the T-Mobile. The fuck? That she was a model or something. Oh, minimum wage acting motherfucker. Bougie. I like to let motherfuckers know if you from the ghetto or not, man. You need to stop perpetrating because it's not about where you from. It's where you at. See, I grew up from the ghetto, but my mother said, hey, check this out. Homies clapping, and my fellas know what I'm talking about. Lady, y'all should do the same, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not about you from the ghetto. It's nothing to be prideful about. It's just that we know how to adapt with our economics to make our shit better. That's what that shit's about. So when we were slaves, they threw your pig. We made chitlins and shit. The white lady came to me talking about, oh, I got a pet pig. I was like, that on my grandmama's house. Shit, one Saturday, his ears is gone. I'm like, yeah, where's the toenail? Shut up, boy, eat that jello. But that's what it's about, man. And I let people know if you from, I'm an ambassador of the ghetto. That's what they call me across the United States. Because I be telling white people, I be busting them out. Like, have you ever ate a spaghetti sandwich? You know what I'm saying? Bread, spaghetti, no meat.
Sugar sandwich.
But my man said a sugar sandwich. You feel me? And I had a wheat sandwich. I had a wish sandwich. I had bread, mayo, lettuce, and wish I had a piece of meat with this motherfucker. Look at my man said a mustard sandwich. I don't know, that's a little tangy. I might just have to go with the sugar sandwich. I like sweet shit. But I feel the support from you though. I feel it. You can't be mad at the bouncer and shit. You want him on your team. I want him on my team. If we was a basketball team and I shot the first dime, I'd be like, he on my team. You ever had a chocolate sandwich?
Hell yeah.
Peanut butter, no jelly for you motherfuckers don't know. My first experience with a chocolate sandwich. I was sitting up there, my homies came, we gonna go see some basketball, we ran out of jelly. So I smoothed some of that jiffy, made it thick. Cause I just gonna have to last me for a minute. And I was running outside and bit into that sandwich on my second step. Motherfucker started choking me inside of my throat. I found myself fighting invisible arms and shit. And nobody in my my neighborhood do the honey maneuver. For real, I had to throw myself over a picket fence. Next time I get that water hose running, set myself down. Got to let the water hose run for a little bit because it be warm when the first time out.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Once again, this is comedian Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show podcast. My co-stars be coming in, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner, Mr. Hank Norman, Big Hank, real name Henry Norman, but we call him Big Hank Norman, alumni grade of the USC football team. Matter of fact, he just popped in himself. What's up with you, big bro?
What's happening with Roy Anthony?
You got it, man. How you doing, man?
Man,
You're not driving too. You're not driving too in on the podcast, are you? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard.
You driving in on the podcast?
I can't lie, man. So I just ain't gonna say nothing. But I called in to tell you that I'm going to the eye doctor and I'm not gonna be able to be on the show. That's what I called.
Okay, man. Well, you know what, man? I appreciate and thank you, man. I'm glad to see that you're alive and doing well, man. For real. And so that's an insurance race. You can go get your eyes checked, your health checked and stuff for real, man. I'm so proud of your example, man.
Thank you, man.
Well, man, you want to be careful and stuff. And I'll be checking you out later, bro. Oh, you know the news, so I'm definitely on it.
If you need to see me, man, check me out on Amazon Prime. I'm on Amazon Prime. Check me out.
Sure is. He's on Amazon Prime. It'll be on the channel. If
you need to see me, catch me on Amazon Prime, man. I'm out of here, Roy Anthony. I love you, bro.
Love you too, bro. God bless, man. That's my big bro, man. Okay, for a lot of people, we just had some more news today. Those who's watching, those who's going to be seeing the show, the Roy Anthony's live weekly stand-up comedy show, we had got accepted through Film Hub, and it was stated to me that we'd be, lucky just to get one license. Well, this morning, about 2 or 3 hours ago, this is August the 13th, 2024, we just found out that Amazon Prime Video has bought a license for the show, where now we have 4 licenses. We're on Cluster TV. We're right now being distributed through OTT Studios, based out of OTT Studios is based out of Menlo Park up in San Francisco area, and then the Future Today Studios is distributing us through Venice, California. And now Amazon Prime, which we also have not only English SRTs, which is closed caption, but we also have Chinese, Mandarin, Spanish, and Arabic. We have 4 languages, which helps us go almost 3/4 of the world. And we're just speaking facts. You can look up the Roy Anthony's live weekly stand-up comedy show, like Big Hank was just saying. We just made it to Prime. We just obtained the licenses. They tell us that it takes 2 to 12 weeks before they actually start showing it. Yours truly, we've actually, matter of fact, let me go. I'm gonna show one of the videos. See, I was waiting.
Do you want that real stand-up comedy? Then watch Roy Anthony's weekly stand-up comedy show, featuring comedians from all over the country, seasoned comics, up-and-coming comics, performing live in Los Angeles. Produced by Roy Anthony, Where's My Grill, Big Hank, Long Beach Players. Promoted by Navigator, Media One. Come on, USA, let's get our laugh on.
Yeah. So, just want to give a big shout out to our team. Big Hank, of course, one of the producers with myself, Roy Anthony, along with our promoter, head of our marketing, which is Navigator Media One, ran by William Lee. And then we have our publicist now, Miss Starlet Evans, who's one of our publicists, who's a social producer for the show. Then we have Little Rob Robledo. I don't know if I say it correct. I always call him Little Rob. He's one of the comedians you've seen. He's also the one who did all of our artwork for the show. And I know it seems like somebody said, "Hey, you pretty dark." Yeah, because we haven't got all the lights situated. My show is about a conversation. It's not a confrontation, it's a conversation. And we pride ourselves we can shoot anywhere in the United States. And so there's some major things happening for us. And I want to tell people it's never been easy. No one has gave us anything. No one on our team. Me, Big Hank, Navigator, Starlet Evans, Little Rob, and then we have our other social producers like Alicia Norman, that's Big Hank's wife, Ramonda Robinson, another social producer on the show, and Rosie Littles, which Rosie Littles is my mother. She's been helping me produce shows. Now, it wasn't just my mother, but she's been an executive producer and a social producer with me for years for a lot of the projects that you've seen us be part of, especially in other states. My mother, Miss Rosie, has been helping us a lot. Then I'm with my kids and everything. So let me get to the credits though, and I want to go through the credits. We come live on the WO platform, which was created by veterans, and the lead producer of the WO entertainment platform, Richie King, and his stage name, AKA, is Redneck Pimp. Very funny brother, for real. Got much love for him. Then my other brother, Goose, who helped create the WO and stuff, and he's always missed, seldom seen, but always missed, and got love for him like mother. That's my other brother. Then our social producer, Blue Phoenix, who got to ring the bell, conquering, kicking that cancer in the butt, and so a true warrior, soldier, mentally, spiritually, physically, for real. Got love for her. She keeps our platform going up along with Eighth and Daily, one of the other social producers. Then we have our good neighbors, the BB Nation, Backwood veterans based out of Oregon, all the brothers there. Then we had the Long Beach All Stars, which is Long Beach, Compton, Linwood, and Watts come together. Veterans, non-veterans come together for the common goal. And then we got the WO Entertainment family, which is based around the country and based around the U.S., our country, and other countries. Then we give a shout out to our own personal family, friends, associates, and those people who don't like us. Hey, welcome to the show. I've been looking at the politics lately. You can't help but pay attention to it. It sometimes obscures the news that's going around us locally, right? And no matter where I'm at, Cali, Kansas City, or other states, one of the common things that we've been seeing is the presidential ticket, is coming up. We'll be voting come November. And as you know, that President Joe Biden is not running for a second term. Matter of fact, he's retiring after this term. And he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris. And now recently, Kamala Harris have made the governor of Minnesota her running mate as the vice president, Mr. Walz. And now there's a lot of name calling and flinging from the Republican sides to Democrats at Miss Kamala Harris. Now, everyone knows America, my census, voting registration, all has me as a free American. That means that I could be swayed. I can I can vote Republican. I can vote Democrat. So I take my vote, my personal vote, as my own. I don't never share which way I'm gonna vote, but you can tell by which way I'm leaning where I might vote. In 2016, when former President Donald Trump was running against Hillary Clinton, on your ballot they have alternates, and you can write in an alternate as long as it's on the ballot. You can't just write somebody's name in, that's against the law. You're going to get in trouble. But you can write in the alternate if you don't agree with the two major primaries. And the alternate could be even an independent. Well, in 2016, Bernie Sanders was the alternate, and I wrote Bernie Sanders in. I didn't vote Hillary Clinton or former President Donald Trump. Now, in the 2020 election, I voted, I went with the Biden ticket because even the alternates wasn't showing anything. Carl Loomis, what's up, bro? He said, what it do, brother? Hope all is well. Yes, it is, man. Man, grateful I'm alive, Carl. That's why my other brother, Carl Loomis, based out of Oregon and stuff. And he be working so much, just newlywed and stuff. Him and his beautiful wife, Caitlin, and their two beautiful kids. They got something, you know, and I've been wanting to be out there, and I'm gonna surprise them too, because I've been twice. I was supposed to be out there in Oregon with Carl. One, I didn't make it for, it wasn't on my fault. The airlines messed up our flights. Second time was economic situation because I had a crisis situation going on with my family. And so, but one of the things, like I was getting on about these politics, is that all of a sudden, you know, it seems to me you're trying to tear down the other person, and instead of saying, what's your plan to make America great? You know, I don't see where identity has anything to do with politics. You know, as long as they make it to that ballot. Carl said, looking forward to it, brother. Can't wait to meet face to face, man. Much love for you and the crew. I got to get back to it, but I'm listening. I got you, bro, for real. And I'm gonna explain to everyone. I'm about humanity. Everybody who knows me is that I'm about humanity. And as being a person who believes in the spiritual God, and I believe salvation through his son, Jesus Christ, that's my belief. I don't force my belief on other people. I see the politics doing this stuff, you know, and this is, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Now, am I Mr. Saint Joe, Saint Roy? No, I'm not. I'm so far from being perfect. I'm not even thinking close to perfect. I'm just trying to be right. I'm a sinful person, but I try to show love because love covers a multitude of sins. Do I cuss? Yeah. Do I drink and smoke? Yeah. But God don't measure me off of that. He measures me off of my heart. Don't let humans make you feel you inadequate. That's where it is, because God measures us by our hearts, not by what our clothes, not by the slang of my voice or twang. Or I like that country singer said, you may not like, so you don't like my, wait, man, I know the song and stuff, right? But it's not about my way I speak, the way I think. As long as I'm looking at humanity, to love my neighbors as I love myself. I don't get the mudslinging. What I do see, and when people tell me that President Donald Trump helped, I look at help with what the taxes. Well, I did wasn't, you know, I'm over the $50,000 branch, but I'm under the 100,000. So no benefits helps me. I can't get no satisfaction from some of this stuff for people who makes under 50,000. But I don't get the perks or tax breaks for those who make over 100,000. So then I start looking, looks like the tax breaks that former President Donald Trump is really for those who's millionaires, you know. And to me, if you're a billionaire, millionaire, what's wrong with some of the taxes that you have? You know, I mean, paying taxes. What type of tax break do you want? Where I've seen where former President Donald Trump, they said he filed some taxes. This man's a millionaire and he only paid $750 and so I'm like, tax, how does it help the general population? So I don't get into that. I look at humanity. That's what we sit up here and go and fight other countries because how some leader, whatever, is not showing humanity to the people over there. When you got mass killings, we seem to frown down on that. You know, we coming to help you and stuff like that. But I see the same type of scenarios that happens in America, and I don't. It'd be confusing me. We say in our logo, especially on the money, we say in God we trust. But then you have to ask yourself, what God? Because some of the tactics that I see doesn't seem to parallel with even no way of God. You know, it says the love of money is root of all evil, not having money. It's the love of it. Will you step on your brother's neck? Will you lie to him to get that dollar bill and stuff like that? Wicked, you know, we want to be able to get things organic. You know, I don't see when we're sitting up here name slaying. Now, as a Black American, which I'm an American to the world, but in this country, there's a color wheel of black, white, yellow, red, and brown. You know, that's how they try to identify us. And then what they do is, for some reason, the blacks are attacked. Now, all of a sudden, I be trying to get to my subject, but it tickles me when I'm seeing my white neighbors telling you who really is black. I'm not making this up. You know, she really ain't black. That's what I've been hearing Republicans. What you mean she isn't black? You know, you got some black folks over there in Mega that us black folks to see, even though they look black, like Tim Scott and Byron Donalds. They look black, but we don't categorize them part of the black community. You know, there's some of my white neighbors that's more into the black community than some of these black stars that we see here in the news, the media, and everything. Now, I represent the general public. Some people say, well, how many people was watching? Who cares? Or did you watch it? Did you get something out of it? It's just our point of view. I'm not pressing my point of view. I'm just stating stuff that I see. My name is Roy Anthony. It's called the Roy Anthony Show podcast. My co-star, you just seen Big Hank. He's on his way to the eye doctor. Miss Cynthia Joy, who major survivalist of a stroke. You can catch her book on Amazon. Mention Amazon again. You can catch her book. Fight Lives in the Heart of a Survivor. She appear in something. She had to be doing something or job or something while she hasn't showed up. But I've been confused about why is our politics based upon name calling and trashing somebody's identity backward. When did being black or biracial, don't you know that probably 45-50% of blacks in America has different race in us? During the slavery, when the white masters was raping the women, then push it all the way up to modern day. One of the most celebrated quarterbacks is biracial. Patrick Mahomes, his mother's white, his dad is black. Is anybody caring because he's playing football? You got some people who will state that he's winning because he's using more of the white side. That is never no case. Former President Donald Trump tried to come up with something not about Patrick Mahomes, but it was somebody that they had met and they was biracial, and they said, "Oh, it must be the white side that's making him this way." Come on, man. It's no okay. All of a sudden, if I wake up and I'm biracial, and all of a sudden I want to put some Thousand Island on my barbecue ribs, or I want mayonnaise on my pork chops or something. There's no such thing if one side of me comes out. This is foolishness to me. It seems elementary to me. How can I want somebody to lead get my vote when the only thing you're telling me is something derogatory about this other individual? You can't. Okay, and I'm gonna state this again. When I was a kid, they taught me about biracial. White man, white woman, white baby. Black man, black woman, black baby. White man, black woman, black baby. Black man, white woman, black baby. And it goes on, whatever, black man, Mexican woman, black baby. Mexican man, black woman, black baby. Whereas you got some people now who prize themselves to say, "Oh, we found out that we got 2% of black in us." Well, if that's the case, you got 2% of black in you, doesn't make you black and stuff. People see I'm on the show and still try to get my attention and stuff. It doesn't make a difference who you are, but when a person, everything that they're saying, and I'm a citizen of California. Let me say this. I'm a citizen of California. I used to, since 2009, I used to be hard on Miss Kamala. At the time, she was the prosecuting attorney of San Francisco in 2009, and Oscar Grant got murdered by the Fruitvale Police Department after he was already handcuffed, laying on his stomach on wasn't no crime committed. It's New Year's Eve. They handcuff him. Boy's 18. He's laying on his stomach. He's handcuffed. The police officer pulls out his gun and shoots him in the head. There was no reason. He said that he pulled out his stun gun. Now, why would you pull out a stun gun if he's already in constraints on his stomach? Where is he going and stuff? Because he was mouthy. But what happened is Miss Vice President Kamala Harris moved that case from San Francisco to Los Angeles. He wasn't measured by his peers. This is now a new case to a new case to a different county, which was in Los Angeles County. I only gave him 2 years. Matter of fact, they've been talking about going back and looking at that because there's no way this is considered cold-blooded murder. He's in handcuffs. You got him on his stomach. All of a sudden, you pull out your gun and shoot him in the head. Now, I held that against Vice President Kamala Harris because I'm a California resident. There's some other scenarios that I know, but I'm not going to bring that up. Now, to a lot of voters, if you want to believe that she's against crime, against the police department, that's a lie, because she was a prosecuting attorney. The prosecutors work with the police department, so you don't have to fret on that. Now, I'm not campaigning for Miss Kamala Harris. I'm not campaigning for Mr. Donald Trump. But I'm going to tell you, it's not that Miss Kamala, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Mr. Watts, Governor Watts, is bringing me in. It's just that what I see from the Republican Party is pushing me towards them. Because as a Black, I don't like what I'm seeing. Now, I do have a daughter. I'm not into sexual misconduct. I have a mother, a daughter, an auntie. I'm not into that type of character of a person. But if I don't know the man's back, I don't know his background. I do know that former President Donald Trump just got found guilty of 34 felony counts. If you and I have one felony count found guilty, you're looking at going to jail or be on supervised probation or something like that. But 34, and I ain't getting none of them getting to be dropped, and I found guilty all of them. Oh, yeah, they not even let me go home and come into the sentencing. Them betas is gonna get around me, and you gotta, hey man, my sentence don't start till October. Nah, we want to bring you in now. Okay, so the girls, I'm seeing the contrast. And no, former President Donald Trump, I can't relate with you because just because you caught some cases, I can't relate with you because you inherited over $100 million. I don't see, I ain't nobody in my neighborhood, bro, that inherit even $100,000 and gonna go backwards. I'm just being honest. Whereas I've seen Miss Kamala Harris is joined, she part of the Black sorority, because I'm part of a Black fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. I think she's a Alpha Phi Alpha. She went to Howard, which is a HUBC. Okay. All of a sudden, I'm hearing from some people that I'm looking them up. I even seen these reporters. One lady said, oh, she slept her way there. Oh, wait a minute. Slept her way with Willie Brown because he was the mayor of San Francisco, that the mayor of San Francisco appointed her as the lead prosecuting attorney when the last time I checked, you vote for who's going to be the district prosecutor. How would Willie Brown get Vice President Kamala Harris as the lead prosecuting attorney of San Francisco if it have to be voted on? Then the state of California voted for her to be attorney general, which she won. Then she got, these are the people, us Californians, we make up 30-40 million in the state of California, voted to make her the senator of California. She was up there with Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi and all them other cats, right? Okay. First you come about a DEI. What you mean she's not worth it? Okay, in the Democratic convention of when in 2016, well, 2020, she did come against Joe Biden and she was fierce. But President Joe Biden is a wise G. He said, you know what? She's fierce. I need, if you don't, if you can't beat them, you join them. He gave her that offer. She said, okay. Nobody in the United States had a problem with that because she's the vice president right now of the United States. If something would have happened to President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris becomes the president. President Joe Biden says he's retiring. He's not running second term. I'm getting too old for this. He endorsed Kamala Harris. And where I see the other Democrats, nobody didn't complain. But now I'm seeing these, especially these people who's attacking her. Oh, she slept to the top. Oh, she's DEI hire. How? I'm questioning your position. Who is you? First, how did you become this and that? Who are you? I'm looking at some people who was fake electors and tried to push a fake propaganda out. Because you thinking that you smarter than the rest of the American people. The way some of these politicians talk, especially through the mega, I've been seeing it seems like they talk down at us. We don't know what's good for us. We all Americans get to vote. Don't try to tell me, oh, because you leaning towards the left or you leaning towards the right, you're not American. I'm looking at facts, because on this show we don't deal with theories. We deal with facts. Facts is an unproven theory. A theory is an unproven fact, is what I'm at. A fact is a fact. It means the truth. I like what James Baldwin said. James Baldwin, who was born 100 years ago in this month. I don't know the exact date. I'm gonna find that out. But James Baldwin, who was a great poet, orator about the discrepancies that was going on in America, especially in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. In one of his passages that I'm going to show this, said it best: we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression, in denial of my humanity and right to exist. You see it for yourself. You can look it up, look up James Baldwin. Just because we may not agree on something I'm saying about politics, whatever, doesn't mean that I don't love you. But if your disagreement is that I got to show that I am a human being and you're saying I'm an animal, well, we have a problem. If you want to treat me like I'm 1/3, what? Let me tell you something. Ain't a citizen from the history of America was pure. If anything, only ones they considered pure was the Great Britain's military that was over here vanguarding us on camps. The gun helps a lot of stuff occur. The Civil War is the only war documented in history where the victorious ones became the oppressed because of a lie and belief that we're going to all turn our guns in and be living in prosperity in the United States of America. But they threw the flim flam in there. So those who kept their guns going against people who know they don't have no guns. It's easy to control then. My white neighbors expressed their rights to have a gun. My black neighbors even mentioned that they have a gun, they're getting shot. Ain't even pulled the gun out. You own the possession of a gun. What's that you reaching for? Bah, bah, bah. Because they look at us, and some of them looks at us as we're not humans. And oh, I don't dress like that. See, they done made it seem like, oh, we wear a hooded shirt or a hooded sweater, or he must be a thug. He wears a baseball cap. He got a chain on his neck. You can't categorize me, sir or ma'am, because you're looking at someone who has a degree, who's educated. Don't mind speaking up. If you don't want to hear facts from me, then you probably want to go and keep listening to those lies. I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born in America. I keep telling people my family tree goes out to 1661. My grandfather's grandmother came on a slave ship. One of the last ships coming. On my dad's side, they was considered Blackfoot Indians. Close with the Comanches and stuff like that. But they want to leave that out. They want to make you think that they herded all of us blacks. Millions of blacks and stuff. No, you killed millions of blacks, but you didn't bring millions of blacks over here. It was blacks in this country when the Pilgrims hit the Plymouth Rock. Thanksgiving Day is based off of survival. You didn't know what to eat. We said, hey, you can eat some collard greens and some corn, some dressing, candy yams. You didn't have no knowledge of this country. We have fought in every single war. Who are you going to disqualify? I don't know why people think you need to help me with my bank account. What? I was able to earn this money. Why I need you to help me how to spend it? I was looking at our Olympics. We representing against other countries. Them countries trying to beat us too. Track, basketball, I was looking at it. We got medal counts. But we're going to listen to these folks who can't even run 50. I was looking at a lady they were showing some videos on YouTube. I always like to look and I pay attention. I read, I research, I watch videos and interviews. Like I was watching the interview with former President Donald Trump with Elon Musk of X, which was known as Twitter. And I'm like, both of these guys was inherited into money. How you going to tell what the general public needs if you ain't never experienced it? How would you know what's good for the blacks? Don't believe the hype, because we're humans. I got love in my heart for anybody who's out there hungry or anybody who's homeless. What economic plan do you have for us for us to want to vote for you. I'm hearing over here from Kamala, though, I'm hearing about some of this child taxes and Medicare. I just found out under President Joe Biden that those who, I looked at a whole bunch of lists. This man's been doing his work. Medicine, if you need insulin, I found out that stuff used to be very expensive. They done dropped it down to almost 38 cents. The pharmaceuticals, you know, you need heart medicine and all that. They talking about helping with you as a family, insurance, tax write-off for your kids, stuff like that. Because these kids, they be wanting Jordan tennis shoes and stuff like that. I need extra money. They was talking about living housing, where someone wants to live decent, but the prices is so outrageous. And I want to talk about this. And I seen one of my white neighbors ask this question to former President Donald Trump on the township meeting that they had with him on the phone, and he never did answer from this one white neighbor of mine. He was a biker, and he asked him, because these prices, and a lot of people, let me explain this. Apartment complexes are the worst thing for credit to American people. When apartments started, people would stay in hotels and you can pay by the day or by the week. The apartments was supposed to be created to where you paid monthly, and in 6 months, they should have been, the apartment owners is to help you get into a house. Now, mind you, it's the only entity in the United States where they never give a monthly credit to your credit department how well you paying your bills. They're the only entity that just based off of your credit, your social security number, but never hit your credit departments. Like, you know how if you get a credit card each month, they let the three credit, you know, Equifax, TransUnion, and what's the other one, Expedia or whatever. These three credit unions is always being reported by your credit card, or if you bought a car, or how, but never apartment complexes. But let you not pay your rent, all of a sudden you got what they call an eviction on your credit report. You can't buy a house or want to buy a house, but the apartments don't have no type of control, rent control. They say they do, but you gone from 1,000 to where it's 1,500. Now somebody's kid got to suffer because you got to worry about keeping shelter over your head. And some of these landlords, they over here in the Bahamas, they give it to a magic crew and say, hey, the rent, not only 1 month's rent can pay their property taxes for apartment owners, but you got a multiple of people on this apartment complex. Yet you'll say it costs too much to let the credit bureaus know each month that this person has been paying their rent on time. I know some people who's been there 3 to 4 years paying an apartment. Apartment raises rent, they get it, they pay it. Somebody gets sick, they can't pay the rent, here's a 3-day notice, pay your rent or quit. You've been like, oh, I've been here 4 years, can't you work with me? Next you know, you got an eviction. If you don't answer that and go through the court process, next you know there's a sticker on your door by the sheriffs. You got 5 days to move. Now, the storage people want you to come put your stuff in there, hoping that you don't pay your storage bill, because then they're gonna put a lock on it, and then sell your stuff. And this is how they do the American people. A lot of people don't know 60% of the homeless people in America has a job. They just can't afford these downright, you want a down payment of the same month. They should work on that. Work on this, former President Donald Trump, where you can move into an apartment without having to pay the down payment. Let's work on something that's going to help us as Americans. Let's make this stuff right. Make these apartment complex people put in more. You should be helping those who's been at your apartment complex for over a year. You should be trying to help them move into a house. Oh, but that's too much. And I'm talking about across the U.S. But let you not pay your rent. You're going through an eviction that holds on your records for 7 years. Why? And then it's just like cattle through the courts. Oh, well, you didn't pay your rent. Well, we're going to give you till a couple of weeks and get out of there. But I got kids. Well, you should. What? I don't have no tax credits. I'm so busy worrying about what Vice President Donald Trump is saying with Elon Musk. But my rent is due. I got an outrageous electricity bill. Why I got this big old electricity bill from a smaller city? I'm in Kansas City, Kansas. The Board of Public Utilities. I was paying my mother. I said, your bill, it seems too high. I live in Los Angeles. My bill has always only been $70, $80. You in Kansas City, Kansas. Why is this bill $400? So I pay it all the way down to zero. 3 weeks, bill comes back. What the world? How the world is a little, this ain't Los Angeles. Then I look through the bill. I'm looking at the bill because I'm a civil designer, and I see stormwater. Wait a minute. The citizens of Kansas City, Kansas, on their Board of Public Utility bill is paying stormwater. Now, people say, well, what's stormwater? That's rain that's coming off of your roof onto the ground, and they have a drainage system. You paying on that. What the world? You paying water coming into your house. You paying water going out of your house. Now you're paying storm drain, which is when it rains, the square foot of your house can't accommodate, the water that's going to go over a 1,700 square foot house is now going on the ground, and it goes, and they make you pay for that. And they want to know, how do you help the American people? Well, if a person's been renting for over a year and stuff, because we know that jobs shut down, y'all, you know that y'all do that. These corporations let someone go or whatever. Okay, so after you've been a year, then we should be helping them with a house, especially with these states that has legalized cannabis. State of Missouri made $1.5 billion in the year 2023 of becoming legal. Why you got homeless out there, bro? Why you got homeless people in California, bruh? When you're making billions of dollars. What you doing with the money, man? Every state that's legal with cannabis, why is it that you shouldn't have no homeless? You can take some of them acres that people are seeing as you drive on the highway with a little old barbed wire fence and stuff. Clear some of that out. Take some of that cannabis money, build up some apartment complex community, and see if they don't strive. But you got to help them out. Sit up here, man. I don't want to hear no name calling. I want to hear what you're going to do for the American people, bro. I want to hear how we're going to change some of these charters in these major cities and bring stuff up to speed. California still, Los Angeles still under the 1910 charter, where police can't stop you because it was made for people coming to town. They had to turn in the guns. Stop this name calling and tell me what you're going to do for the American people. Help me, man. Help me to help you. You want my vote, but don't have no plan. The general public people make up, it's only 3 to 4% of wealthy people that's working in the United States. So we got 350 million people in the United States. 3 to 4% of them are wealthy. Well, guess what? You step to the side and let's concentrate on this other 95 to 96 million, 94 to 95% of the population and see what we're talking about. We're tired using our votes for this scrupulous, scandalous BS, and we don't get nothing from it. Talking about the border. Let's talk about the American people who's here. The ones who's crying about it. They coming over. When dude said former President Donald Trump, man, I can't go with when you said you're going to tell black people, Mexicans is taking your jobs. For one, you're causing division. Two, there's no such thing. Because if you believe in God, it says that I'm young and now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken or seen begging for bread. You holding the Bible, you got to read it, sir. You got to put it deep in your heart. Stop doing photoshops, man. This ain't no humanity. You causing division. Last time I checked, the whole American medical industry uses fentanyl. All of a sudden, fentanyl's coming around. Man, the hospitals got fentanyl. It's one of the top opiums that they have in the hospitals. They just say they know how to administer it better than you do on the streets. Okay, but it's been here. Stop lying when the hospitals use fentanyl around the country, but yet you want to believe that illegal aliens is bringing fentanyl in here. How? Stop the BS, man. For real. But we sit up here and go with it. I want to be them true Americans that we stand up for right, not wrong, but for right. Our military veterans goes out there and they're believing they're doing the right. I was told that when the military, we're acting as the hand of God. And we try to be fair. That's why a cat can be court-martialed for shooting just as some citizens. Dude, we ain't out here to just kill people like that. Get your ass in the slammer. That's probably what this dude did, who killed the lady. I forget. I'm sorry. So much stuff goes on. But here he is, got fired from police department, got this a dishonorable discharge from the military, where they don't even want to disclose what it was. For real. Stop the name calling, man, and tell me how America's going to move farther. It sounds like you're going back to rhetoricness. You think that I'm not going to walk on the sidewalk and move my ray of direction? You think I'm not going to look in your eye? You think I'm going to go through the back of a restaurant? You think that I'm going to sit up here and drink at a fountain that says whites only? You think that's going to happen? Put me in the time machine and take me back to 6 for real. It definitely ain't going. That's the only way that happens. We in the time machine going back, because we're not moving forward with that BS. I'll let you know that right now. It was one of the contemporary comrades that we've read. I have one life to live. Like Cesar Chavez said, I'd rather die on my feet than live the rest of my life on my knees. You got me mistaken. I'm not going backwards, bruh. My family done shed blood for this country many generations. You ain't gonna have me going backwards. We have earned our freedom, and I shouldn't have to earn my freedom from another man. I'm gonna use my vote, and I'm gonna use it wisely. God told us to anger, but sin not. Ponder these things, think on these things, talk on these things. If Big Hank was here ending it right now, he'd tell you, he said, know this, God is not to be mocked. What a man reapeth, that's what he's going to sow. You want to plant hate? Well, guess what? Don't think you get roses and tulips. You're getting vines and thorns because you planted hate. Now you hate, now you're mad because this person who shows love, and all of a sudden you got something to say about him because your whole life is thorny. You like how Morticia Adams would do the roses. You cut the head off because they pretty, but the vines with the thorns is beautiful to you because that's what you planted. You don't have to like me because the facts is what it is. You plant love, you're going to get love. You plant hate, guess what? There it is. And remember this. This is else Big Hank would say, was done in the dark. He's watching constantly. I can't see you. God's seeing everything. And just like the governor George Wallace, who was really hateful against blacks and everything, and then when he got shot by one of his own contemporaries, he came into the black church and asked for forgiveness. That man died peacefully and gone to heaven. He said, forgive me on my sins. I'm wrong. I love everyone, man. Smile. Because I love you, but God loves you more. But we got to be able to be strong enough to correct those around us and be able to step forth and say, man, that I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that racist. I don't agree with that hatred. I don't agree with that. I'm trying to be like Roy. I'm trying to be about humanity. One God, one faith, one baptism, justice for all. I'm out of here, man. I'm Roy Anthony. God bless everyone.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and Friends Show. Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody
Anthony
out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.